Okay, so now we're going to take a look at our main admin menu that you'll use to get around inside the back of WordPress. So from the dashboard, once you're logged in, you'll see the main admin bar that we went over before. So if you need to quick create any of these items, you can do that here. But just like this post here, there's post section here. You can choose to look at all your posts, add new, look at the categories and tags you have associated with those posts. But starting from the top, we're on our dashboard as highlighted. Here's the home. Here's 2 updates that have come through in the last couple of days. You typically won't have to worry about these updates. I run those automatically and I have them delayed a bit just so that anything new doesn't run right away and crash our website. We want to make sure that it's safe. So I give it a few days before I run any of those. So for instance, this WordPress 5.5 you see, I actually ran that on a few other websites a day after it came out and it crashed all of them. So with our support, I was able to restore those in a couple clicks. So no stresses on the plugins. If you see any updates in there and you're concerned about them, shoot me an email and I'll take care of it if it isn't already scheduled to be updated automatically. But do not stress. Most of those are going to be within a few days of being released. All right. So below the dashboard settings section, are our posts. So if you click on post or mouse over and click all posts, like you can see, it takes us to the same place. Here's all of our posts. Here's one that I created under your user. Here's the category. Here's the title tag, which I call the book study with the date. And then this section, Spiritual Center for Intentional Living, that content is added automatically. So you just have to give it a title here. Here's some tags I randomly clicked based on the content that was in there, the title of the book, the author, and some other things that were in that comment. Published on 8/19, but I actually created that just a few days ago. We can backdate that, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. Forms. Forms are important because you got a couple of those on there. Here's your prayer request form, here's the general contact form, and then here's your email subscription. Those will be getting emailed to you, but if you didn't have that email or weren't sure, come to entries, click entry. There's me with the test form back on August 3rd, it looks like. So all of these are cataloged in here. You can move these to trash and delete them. You can clear the cache to make sure it's been updated properly. You can make some changes in notes. Actually, it doesn't look like we can do anything other than maybe I would go in here and change it, Nick Allen prayer request or something along those lines. Update. But ideally, you don't have to change any of that because you're getting your email notifications. If you had any changes you needed to make to the form, here's a dashboard. Here's our general settings, which is just a captcha to make sure it hides in the background and keeps the spam from coming your way. So let me know if you start to see that at all. This should help us. And then newsletter integration, if we do set up a MailChimp account and you want that rolling, all I have to do is paste the API key in here for you. Media section. This is where all your files on your website live. So for instance, here's a couple test images that you and I use. We don't want that at all, so I clicked on that image and I can delete permanently right here. It's asking me if I'm sure. Yeah, I do not want anything to do with the disc golf place. So all of these images right here are all stock photos and it would take forever. Click, delete, okay. Right here is an option called bulk select. I can click this, hold my shift key down all the way through to here, because none of these images we're using on our theme. I'm going to delete permanently, click OK. Now all of these images are off our website and it's a little bit lighter to work with. One thing we discussed is these images are really large. I'm going to look at compressing and resizing those. Don't worry about those. Oh, this one's actually not you either, huh? Let's delete that one. So we'll get rid of anything unnecessary in here. If you need to add anything, click Add New. You can drag from your desktop right into this section. You can click Select and then upload from your desktop as well. Good place is, let's say you need to transfer a document or a PDF file or an Excel file. You can throw that up here and share that link with somebody. So simply click the whatever type of file you can imagine. Now it's on WordPress. I click here. There's that link I can copy and paste. I'm not going to save that. I'll delete that. All right. Pages right below media. Here are all the pages that exist on your website. Test page for you to mess about with. I'm going to change that in a minute. Here's our home page. Here's our privacy policy that's not published, which we need to update. And then here's a blog I created for you. So this test page, I'm going to quick edit and make it a draft because I don't want it sitting out there until at all, really. We should just play with it in a draft mode. Privacy policy, let's take a look at this guy. So I can't remember what was on that page. Yeah, so that's not up to date yet, so we'll create a new one. And so I just noticed a new Facebook post, so we'll add that to the blog in our next lesson. Tips, I'll get rid of this. It doesn't look like it has anything. We have to actually make those. Under appearance, this is where your theme lives. You won't have to play anywhere in here. This is what we're using on the site. I always keep the most recent WordPress default theme in case we have any problems. I can jump over this one easy and do some troubleshooting on the one that's giving us issues. No need to mess and customize because that actually gets into the code files. Under menus is where your main menu lives. So let's say on your website you didn't want home on there. You can remove it right here. Let's say about, you wanted to make it about us. About us now. But I'm not going to save those changes because we'll leave it as is unless you have some requests there. We're going to leave that because I recognize I was clicking around. Now here's all the plugins that we have on your site that are active. I don't keep anything inactive just for security purposes. There's 2 updates. I'll double check the date on these just to make sure. I don't have enable auto updates on these ones for some reason. We might have turned that off just to ensure that WordPress update didn't push, but those will be updated, and I also have the ability to see them in bulk. Under users, there's you, there's me, and then there's our support. Whenever I need somebody to help me out, I give them access. That's the hosting company that I use. So whether we delete this or not, I just create a new one every time we need a new support case. Not a big deal. If we were to add a new person, we can click Add New up here, or we can click Add New right here. All we need is a username, an email, and then a password, which it generates. So your password looks that way because WordPress made it. If we made a really bad password, it would tell us. It actually wouldn't let us use weak. We have to do something. This is not my password. 1, 2, 3. Oh. So there's your password. It's strong, easy to remember. So don't hesitate to change that. If you have any issues, I can get in and update that for you too. If you add somebody new, like one of the Steves, make sure this is checked because they'll get this information in email. And then under the role, outside of you, me, and maybe the Steves or anybody else that you want adminning the site, don't give anybody administrator. Editor simply allows them to edit text and images on the site, but they can't change any of the theme or the page templates. Author, they can add new blog posts. Contributor, they can comment. Subscriber, they can just subscribe to your blog feed and stay tuned. Under profile is the same as if we were to click up here in any of these items here. We get to the same spot, same edit options. Tools. We don't have any tools that you're going to use right now. The one option that is available is site health, but it just you see that on the front end. It's associated with either downtime or updates that need to be placed. So don't worry about these guys, but it doesn't hurt to look at them. Here's all our other security and site health options that they check on it. We can export the data and we can erase personal data. The other option are our settings for WordPress, and I'll roll through those pretty quickly here. So here's our site title and our tagline. If there's any way you wanted, or anything you wanted me to update that to, you can go to settings and under general. Here's your URLs, ensuring that we are secure. Here's the admin email address that I have for managing this. If you needed to change that, or you have somebody else in the group manage that, simply change that there. I still have, as a host of you, I can still access all of this, so it's not a big deal. Anybody who signs up to this simply gets the admin notifications for where all the WordPress editing and security. I unchecked anyone can register because we don't want to have to manage a whole new group of people. That would have made them subscribers. There's your time zone, time and date format, and that's it. So no changes saved there, and we'll call that a video.